What's going on, Mason? What's going on, George Mason University? What's up, George Mason University? What's going on, George Mason University? We're back.
Double ball!
David Bernard.
I'm Perry Buckley.
Lindsay Hokinson.
And I'm DeMonte Shaw.
What's going on, George Mason University? Welcome back inside the press box. It seems like a minute since we all four have been on camera back in the studio.
5 minutes. Yeah.
But we
5 minutes.
we're back. We're 5 minutes. All right. I'm Vandy Bernard. You already know what it is.
I'm Perry Buckley.
I'm DeMonte Shaw.
And I'm Matt Newman.
5 minutes though. Like that's not the.
Like, it's longer than a minute.
But that's ruining the terminology of what I was.
But I was extending it. You know what I mean? Like.
Okay. Yeah.
Bring him to.
Wow.
Anyways, let's start off with. See, we miss y'all. You know y'all missed us too.
I miss these guys.
Yeah, you know.
And y'all too, I guess.
Anyways, let's start off with women's basketball. Had their season opener, a dominating win over Utah Valley State.
Just Utah
Utah
Valley.
Valley?
Yep.
If you can well, we know Utah is Utah Valley is in Utah, but if you can locate what city it's in, trivia question, let us know.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know where they are. I never heard of them till now, but
Probably never find them after that game. I mean,
They're probably-
good gracious. Were they at the game?
I don't know. We shot them out the gym. Literally, we shot them out the gym.
Yeah, they shot 50% from the field and 7 to 13 behind the three. So I won't call any names, but certainly somebody might have jinxed them. But it was a great game, man. I was there, and me and Perry, it was just raining down T-shirts. I finally got one. But yeah, the girls, they played great. They were awesome. I was just disappointed that there weren't more fans there for their like home opener.
Yep.
You know, I expected to see more support from our fan base, but you know, it gets better with time.
Yeah, we making sure we up it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they went out immediately. They went up by like 10 in the first 5 minutes, I would say, and just were kind of running away with it. And then Utah Valley made a late run towards the end of the first half, but they withstood it and then just pulled away in the second half, and it wasn't even a contest.
Yeah. We had our senior, Janae Picard. She led the charge. She had a double-double? Double-double. Career high 21 rebounds.
Oh, wow.
Big boys,
And
numbers.
career high 21 points. So she did her thing that night. I mean every night she's out there destroying. But yeah, she put up some career numbers in that game for Utah Valley. They played hard.
They tried. Poor Utah. Must have been a long flight back to Utah Valley, wherever that is. I mean, we know it's in Utah, but I'm sorry. I need to stop cooking Utah Valley. I mean, we're probably not going to see or hear from them again.
The program just got shut down after that. I mean, but you know, hopefully they'll do better in their respective league, and you know, we'll do
What
work.
league are they in? I'm sorry.
All right, enough of this Utah Valley nonsense.
I'm sorry.
I mean, so far, 2-1 started off the season. What have we liked from the team, and how do we feel about Nyla?
I love their defense. Like, let's see, the exhibition game against Hood College. I mean, it was like every possession they had was turnover. Taylor Brown just gone down the court. You
I
know,
think it was 3 or 4 straight plays.
Yeah.
Steal and layup.
Right.
we were sitting there
Talking
like,
about
did
blocks
they
on the
touch the
same
ball?
possession, like 5 blocks in one
Yeah.
possession. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Like their defense has really ramped it up this year.
Oh yeah.
So defense wins championships. So that's something good going into the A10.
Yeah. I would say of like their hustle so far. I always say the hustle wins championships, and they've definitely been like on defense, offense. They're just flying around. They're doing their thing. I'm like, if you're gonna hustle that hard, I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna support you. I'm gonna cheer you on because you are going out there with the will to win, and with Coach Nyla at the helm, they got all their strategies going on. I'm liking the way it's looking. I mean, obviously they're doing something right if they're shooting that well from the 3 line, because partially that's because they're getting open shots. You know, so
Sure.
they're doing some good stuff. I like it.
Yeah, and then go back to your point. I mean, I love what Coach Nyla is doing. I mean, she just brought this culture of just to pick it back on what you said, this hustle, this grind, and you can just see how the players respond to it. And I mean, the defensive intensity is crazy. I mean, like we were just mentioning, you were mentioning the game against Hood College. I mean, that's a joy to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, Hood College couldn't do anything. we probably won't see them again either. But yeah, they did their thing.
So many shots being fired at other
Calling out
colleges.
these small schools.
I'm sorry, but no, we did our thing. Mason did their thing, and
Yeah.
I mean, we can only expect them to keep it up.
Yeah.
Of course.
You can also see it now. It's really passionate. Like you see her on the sidelines,
Yeah.
like pulling players over, talking to them one-on-one, and then getting the team together and in the huddle.
Absolutely.
She's really passionate. Actually, late in the game, I don't remember who it was, but someone was shooting free throws, and she was like, all right, she yelled across. She was like, all right, take your time, relax. So she missed the first, and she's like, no, it's fine, like you got it. And she saw the second one, and while I was in there, she was like, there it is, cush. Like you could tell she knows her players well, and and she's got them playing well.
Yeah, I love a passionate coach.
Absolutely. I mean, that just does wonders for a team because
Yeah.
the players want to play for that. I'm like, coach is behind me, coach is supporting me.
Mhm.
And I want to do well for my coach, want to do well for my teammates.
Yeah.
And so you can just see that culture just being instilled. So,
Yeah.
and that's so let's move over to men's basketball. Start off well so far also. And what do we like so far, or things we dislike? But let's start off with what we like so far from our men's basketball team.
I definitely like that we're 2-0 right now.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's always good. And,
Yeah.
definitely the progression from Marco. He
That post
had,
game.
Yeah, he had a double-double in the away game against Lamar that they won 68-54. 11 points, 10 rebounds. The guy is working hard out there. I think that was his first career start too. So he's definitely showing the coach that he deserves more playing time, and he's living up to it.
Oh, yeah.
Like we said, Hewitt labeled him and Brian Allen like pretty much coming out of the summer the two best players. So
Exactly.
that's huge going from like a freshman to barely getting some time, maybe because there's a lot of big men, to now like I'm getting starts and
yeah.
I'm being labeled like the best player, one of the best players. So I think he's gonna be key for us this year.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm liking the exciting style of play we're bringing to the table. I mean, y'all saw that John Arledge dunk. That was amazing. It may not have counted, but it counted in our hearts.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. We're always
I mean,
Forever
that.
ingrained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was going crazy. I think if they just have more exciting moments like that, they're just gonna attract fans all over the place. If they keep up the winning, keep up the exciting play, I'm like, if I see one good dunk like that a game, I'm gonna keep coming back. That's for sure. And then when we're winning on top of it,
Yeah.
he was like, they're hustling, they're shooting better than they were. I don't know, better, but they're shooting well. I mean, anytime you've won 2 straight games to start off the season, that's a good start.
Mm-hmm. And I think just one of the things to make sure that we got to keep doing is against American in a home opener, we just saw that we went down early due to not being able to run guys off the 3-point line. So we have to make sure that we do that, rotate better and clamp down on that because I mean a lot of Americans' points came from the 3-point line. Once we were able to shut that down, especially second half, they had trouble figuring out where to go for points, where to go to score. So I think that's definitely one thing we just need to make sure that we keep up. Other than that, man, I'm loving what I'm seeing so far.
Yeah.
Giving us those heart-stopping, entertaining games. And I guess as a fan, you can't ask for much, right?
Yeah.
Well, I guess you want blowouts. But, if you're not blowing them out, I mean, as long as you get the win.
Yeah.
If you want to see blowouts, go watch the girls play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
There you
true.
go. There you go.
True.
Yeah.
Product
True.
placement.
Last plug. I like that.
Look out for the leaks.
Yeah, I like how we're getting scoring from a little bit of everybody. And that each night, it's not like, okay, so-and-so is our best player, they're going to be our leading scorer. Each night, you have a different leading scorer, and you're getting production from everyone. And coaches really got the rotations going well, and it's not like we have like a second squad or second team that comes in, and like you see in the pros, like, second team in, it's like, all right, now we start slacking. It's like, he's really integrated the rotations in well.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
Yeah, and there's been no loss of production when they're out there.
Yeah, I mean, to that point, it was Holloway and Wright leading the team with 13 against Lamar, and then right behind him was Von Gray, who was, I mean, last year was kind of like like Von Gray, like he's there, but wasn't getting the time.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was strategy or whatever, but like now he's coming up big. Like everyone, like I said, everyone's stepping up, and we're having like 4 or 5 guys in double digits, which is awesome.
That's good.
What you need.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean that's what we were saying we wanted to see out of them last year because that's what our opponents were doing.
Yeah.
seeing some changes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was just gonna say that I think we're gonna this year we're just gonna live and die by the perimeter shot. Either we're gonna get killed by it like we were in the beginning of the game versus American, or we're gonna have Patrick Holloway have all of them outside shooting threes. Because when we do that, we space the floor. We can give it to our big men down low who are, they're really good. So
Yeah.
we just gotta make sure that we establish that defense on the defensive end, making sure that we're getting good pressure on their shots, and we also have to make sure that we're also spacing the floor that way on the offensive end.
Right. All right. Now let's shift over to men's soccer, which men's soccer is doing doing their thing as well.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're performing very well.
Yes.
They won an open around tournament game against St. Joseph's, and taking on
in PKs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We scored all 4 of them.
Yeah.
Shout out to senior Julio, freshman Zach, senior Wes, our man, and other junior Timmy. Clutch time performers hitting all the PKs. Our guys have just been coming through for us.
Yeah.
They're like Mason's best kept secret. Of course, we get overshadowed by our basketball, but our perimeter sports are amazing as well.
Yeah.
We're good all around.
Yeah.
Mason's place to be.
Yeah.
Plug for Mason.
Come to Mason.
So far, transition to the A10 has been, been pretty good. Men's soccer has translated very well to the A10 this season.
Number 2 seed.
Yeah, number 2 seed, and they're turning in. This is our first year in the A10. So, you can only imagine what we're going to continue to do and build for down the road. But we hope the men's soccer keeps up their winning ways. Definitely want to make sure you check them out when they're streaming, support them. Of course, if they're not here, if they're playing in Ohio or something, if you can still support them, support them streaming live, make sure you check them out. And recently, we had our interview with Bethany Sackleben, of course, the A10 winner for the 5K, representing, bringing home Mason's first A10 title. And this is an interview we had with her, and you can check it out right here. What's going on, George Mason University? Welcome back inside another special edition of the Pressbox. I'm Vandy Bernard.
I'm Devontae Shaw.
And with us, we have special guest Bethany Sackleben. Thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure.
And of course, let's first start off by saying congratulations for winning the 5K and the A10 championships, bringing Mason's first championship in the A10.
Amazing.
So I guess how was that experience? Just the first question, just how was that experience, and how was that preparing for that 5K and going through it and winning it?
Preparing, we spent the whole beginning of the season, I did at least focusing on that race and gearing every workout towards that race. So doing well and winning it was such a good experience, and it was really fun.
So how does it feel having Mason's first A10 championships, bringing the inaugural A10 championship to Mason?
It's so special. It's so cool, and it's been fun how everyone has been so supportive of me and congratulating the accomplishment, and it's really good for our sport.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we were joking around before the set, talking about where David keeps his medal. So I asked her where she keeps hers, and where do you keep it?
It's thrown in the locker room under some dirty clothes.
Exactly. They just toss them around.
It's interesting. We always thought you guys would have the special casing for it, locked away in some safe or something. But that's pretty cool though. I wish I could get me a medal one day.
Wish I had one to just toss around. Not yet. It's coming.
One day. So let's start off, I guess, by how did you end up at Mason, or where's your decision of how's your process of choosing Mason to come here to run cross country?
I had already chosen to come to Mason just to go to school, and then the summer before I was going to come here, I contacted Coach Ewell and asked her if she'd be interested in giving me a chance as a walk-on and seeing what I could do on the team, and she was nice enough to say yes, and that's what happened.
Oh wow, amazing! So you're a walk-on, so
yeah.
No scholarship or nothing. Oh
no,
wow.
I don't really have a background in running. I didn't run in high school, and I just did it for fun by myself and did some road races and a marathon. So and then I wanted to just keep doing it, stay in shape, and turned into a lot more than that, though.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's impressive.
Yeah. Like the ultimate success story.
Yeah. So I guess take us through a typical day, I guess, of classes or training, or I guess what's a typical day of training like for you?
Usually, as soon as I wake up, I'll do a 30-minute run, and then go to class or do whatever, and then we have practice again at 3:15, and then it'll be like a workout or a training run, and we're usually like at the field house till around 6 p.m. or so after we get done like stretching, icing, all that, and then that's it. On to night class.
Oh wow. So it's pretty much an all-day process for you guys, pretty much. Is it pretty much throughout the week, Monday through Friday type thing, or?
Yeah, it's Monday through Saturday.
Monday through Saturday, okay. So I guess Sundays are kind of your days to yourself.
To do like absolutely nothing.
Must be nice. I mean, having that one day after that grueling 6-week process, I guess,
It's
you need
nice.
that day to yourself.
Yeah.
Definitely. So do you have any like quirky like pre-race rituals that you do? You know, things that you feel like bring you good luck in your races?
Superstitions and anything like that.
I don't really have any superstitions, but usually when I'm on the line, I'm praying, like for real.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that calms me down and it just helps me focus. So that's pretty much the only thing that I do.
Okay.
That's cool. So I guess reflecting on the team, would you classify, how would you classify the team? Are there any like jokesters amongst you guys, or anybody that you guys look forward to or look to for special leadership or guidance in a sense at all?
I would say the jokesters are mostly on the guys' side. We're like a little more laid back. Like the girls, we're just kind of chill. We all get along pretty good. And there's not like a somebody who takes charge. I don't think we're just all kind of a team, and we do things together and address things together if we need to. But I would say on the guys' side more.
Okay.
The goofy side.
So the guys are the jokesters. So I guess let's switch back to, let's go to pro sports, I guess, first. Do you have any, are you more of a football person, or do you have any favorite teams that you follow at all?
I follow tennis a lot. I really like, of course, I like Rafael Nadal. I named my dog after him.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm really a fan.
Good choice.
But that's about it. We watch a little soccer, but I'm not like that
Too
into
into
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rafael, that's a good choice. He recently went down to the Djokovic. That's my favorite. So.
Oh, really?
But it was a good match though. I go with Rafa if I didn't go for Djokovic. So I can do that. So let's switch back to cross country, and I guess what's been the most difficult thing for you, or a difficult challenge so far during your time at Mason running cross country?
Well, cross country is kind of like, I guess I would say, I love all the seasons, but it's my least favorite season, and I think that's because I really don't like weather that's like not 75 to 80.
Yeah.
So when it's really cold outside, it's just hard to like focus, hard to do the workout, and it's just not as fun. That's the only like real challenge I've had. I think the workouts to me are harder for cross country, just because there's like hills and it's not just a flat track that you can have these splits that you have to hit. It's a little bit more challenging to make sure that you're pacing yourself right.
Well, looking forward, so what are you looking to do after you graduate? Like, what career path do you want to take?
Hopefully, maybe I don't have to choose a real career and I can run for a little while. I don't know. We'll see if I stayed healthy. But I honestly don't really have a career path planned out. I'm just kind of wanting to graduate.
Yeah.
And then I'll figure it out later.
That's good. I mean, if your recent success in any indication, I think you'd be just fine. After graduating, have a future career running, and hang up some more medals,
some
or
Olympics.
some Olympic trials. Yeah. And so, I guess, do you have any? Of course, you won the 5K A10 championships. Are there any other goals that you have set for yourself personally throughout the rest of this, your coming years here at Mason?
Yeah, we have regionals coming up this Friday, so we're gonna leave tomorrow. And my goal is to try to give myself a shot at nationals, so like top 15 there. We'll see how it goes, how the race is, but that's my like short-term goal, I guess, because the end of the season, we only have 2 more meets, so that's kind of what we're looking forward to and focusing on now.
Okay. All right. Well, of course, we wish you luck in that.
Thank you.
We know you'll be fine. Thank you once again for joining us, Bethany,
I will.
right here in the press box. It's always a pleasure when you guys on and just kind of talk of your experience and everything that's going on. Maybe come back for a future episode?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Well, thank you, George Mason University, for joining us inside the press box. I'm Veda Bernard.
I'm DeMonte Shaw.
And once again, we had Bethany joining us today. Make sure that you keep it locked. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. The episode's going to be up real soon. And as always, George Mason University, press on. Welcome back inside the press box, George Mason University. We know you missed us through that brief intermission, but we back. You already know what it is. We hope you enjoyed the interview with Bethany and just some of the things to take away from it. I mean, just her being a walk-on.
Yeah.
It's amazing. She did cross country just running in her free time just because she enjoyed doing it. We thought she was on scholarship, came here full ride, but now she walked on. And
let me turn this hobby into, I don't know, like a championship.
Right, and she's doing her thing. So, definitely thank you and shout out to Bethany for coming on. We were very appreciative. We're very appreciative of it. And let's turn it over to Perry Buckley for the upcoming games.
Yeah, so continuing with Bethany, best of luck to the girls and boys cross-country teams at the NCAA Southeast Regional Championships, which are Friday, November 15th. So best of luck there. Hopefully we can get the men's team to advance to NCAAs and possibly Bethany as an individual go to NCAAs. Also, the A10 men's soccer tournament's going on. They're playing VCU also on Friday. So best of luck to them, and hopefully they can win that and then face the winner of the St. Louis LaSalle game in the semifinals, and hopefully they can bring home an A10 championship as well. Next Tuesday, November 19th, is a doubleheader, men's and women's basketball. So women's game is first, ladies first, obviously. They're playing Towson at 4:30, and the men are playing St. Francis at 7. So please come out to both games, not just the men's game. Like I said, it's a doubleheader. The ladies are killing it right now, so please come out and support. They really need you there. And like DeMonte said, you get a free T-shirt.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Come join me.
Oh goodness.
Oh my.
Well, yeah, we'll keep him on the DL. Thursday, November 21st, the Swim and Dive has the Patriot Invitational at 10 a.m. So best of luck to them in the Patriot Invitational, which is actually here at George Mason. So come check them out at the AFC. Also, that Thursday, women's basketball is playing St. Francis at 7. And then Saturday, wrestling will be at the Navy Classic, and the NCAA Championships for cross country will be that weekend as well. So hopefully we get some people advance to that, and best of luck to them if they advance.
Speaking of wrestling, shout out to Saheed. Keep doing your thing, man. Keep dominating them. Ain't nobody got nothing on you. They can't touch you. Anyways.
Okay.
Yeah, they have a creeper shout out like you did. Yeah,
that wasn't creepy.
Let's move on to talk about the World Series. Yes, we know the World Series ended a few weeks ago, but we haven't had a chance to touch on it, so we're going to do it. And, of course, the Red Sox are the world champions.
I love it when you call me Big Papi. Yeah,
I like that.
He did his thing, man.
Big Papi did do his thing. Of course, the World Series MVP. Thoughts? Of course, we're going to start it off with P-Buck.
I just love the whole story around it. The Boston Red Sox go from last year being a team, a terrible team, let's say.
Yeah.
And also everything surrounding the city and the Boston Marathon bombings, and just how they go from being one of the worst teams in their division to, overcoming this tragedy and winning the World Series for the city. Really remarkable story, and again, it just really shows how sports can really uplift the city. So I thought it was totally deserving of Boston to win it.
Yeah.
So I just love the storyline behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes to show that just how much outside influences can really talent, of course, is there, but just that outside motivation is almost reminiscent of the Saints and their Super Bowl. After the whole Katrina deal, and then they were just playing with so much passion, so much motivation on top of their skill that no one could touch them. You're not just playing for yourselves anymore. You're not just playing for your money. You're playing for a whole city.
Yeah.
You're playing really to uplift the country because everyone felt that pain. So
yeah, absolutely.
I don't want to brag or anything, but I called this happening with my baseball expertise. So I'm pretty proud of them.
Yeah. My biggest thing, so many people came through in the clutch for them. Yeah, of course, Dave Ortiz, he was a monster. It was like anytime he got to the plate, he was either going to get walked or he was going to get a base hit somehow. I mean, that was just amazing. He definitely deserved the MVP award. Then you got Shane Victorino hitting that grand slam in the final. I mean, just so much like they have so many setbacks because like they had that crazy play. Was it the end of game 2 or game 3?
Yeah.
With the
with like the block with the interference call.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
The obstruction.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was just like, I think that might be the end, just because that's such a disheartening loss.
Yeah.
But no, they rebounded and like they really they embodied the city of Boston with like how they rebounded from that hardship. I mean, obviously, you know, an obstruction call in the World Series is nothing compared to the Boston Marathon, but like it was really powerful to see like how they would like embody that spirit. And I don't know if you saw, but there was that Sports Illustrated cover where it was the 3 policemen and women from that were like in that iconic photo of just after the blast, and then it was them, and then David Ortiz was behind them. I mean, that was just like such powerful symbolism. It's like, I think that was like one of like the best Sports Illustrated covers of all time. You just have the real heroes up front, and then you have their sports hero behind them. It's like backing them up. It was just crazy. That was really powerful.
Definitely. And congrats to the Red Sox and all the Red Sox fans, Red Sox Nation. And of course, we're gonna keep track of all the off-season news and what goes on, and make sure we bring that to you and keep you updated, keep you posted. And let's move on to another topic where we talked about football, but we haven't touched on college football too much. But let's talk about college football. Let's briefly talk about the Heisman Trophy race and who's our front runner for the Heisman.
I think it's funny how, you know, preseason, beginning of the season, everyone's like, oh, Johnny Manziel, he's going to win another one. But now it's like you got Jameis Winston, you got Mariota, am I saying that right, from Oregon?
Yeah.
Marcus Mariota.
Mariota. I mean, of course you can't count out McCarron and Murray in Georgia. I mean, pretty much all these quarterbacks. But, yeah, I mean, Johnny Manziel is like, he's like the last guy on the list now. And, I mean, my pick right now is Jameis Winston. I like what he's doing in Florida State, bringing them back to glory. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Jameis Winston is probably going to win there's this whole scandal erupting now.
I was about to say that.
I mean, I don't know what's going on there, but if he's like implicated in that in any way, I don't think he has any chance of getting the Heisman if he's found guilty of anything revolving around that.
There's some voters that just will not vote for anyone around any scandal, even if they're not involved. Because any taint of anything, even around their program,
taking it back. So.
Yeah, and of course you said that. Of course we don't know if he's what the verdict is, so don't go accusing the dude of doing something if we don't even know what the facts are, like some people do. But of course, putting that aside, and just strictly focusing on what's done on the field, he's lit it up this whole season. And so I don't see anybody else that does win it besides Jameis Winston just on the field. And I mean, I think he's the clear front runner for the Heisman, and I think that he should win the Heisman Trophy.
Yeah, I agree. I think as well. I mean, AJ McCarron's playing really well too, so I can see him if again all the off court or off the field stuff, if that influences, I think he could sneak in there and grab it. If he continues playing well and they continue running that team.
Yeah.
Jameis, my inspiration, man, out there playing blind.
That's how I do it. No contact.
If he can do it, I can do it. Yeah.
Jameis.
It gives the blind guys hope.
All right, moving on to the who are national title game favorites? Of course, right now in the polls, got Alabama as number 1, and Florida State at number 2, and pretty much if everything stays the way that it is now, if Alabama wins out and Florida State wins out, I think we pretty much have our national championship set. So I don't even know why I asked that. Unless you guys have objections.
I'm okay with that game.
I mean, personally, I don't want to see Alabama in another national championship game. I'm hoping against hope that they lose somehow.
I am too. I'm with you on that one.
I'm so sick of Nick Saban and them winning national championships. I would love to see my ideal championship game that I think would be like the most entertaining would be Florida State versus like Baylor somehow. There's a lot of stuff that has to happen for that to happen, but I think that'd be awesome to see. It's 2 high-powered offenses.
Yeah, that's a stretch.
It's a stretch, I'll admit, but it'd be awesome.
They got to get through
I
Ohio
like
State
Alabama.
first. And
I think they're a very high-class organization.
Alabama?
Yeah. Nick Saban is the epitome of college success.
indeed he is, though. I mean, if Alabama happens to be in it, I mean, like you, I'd like somebody else to be in it, but if
Yeah.
Alabama happens to be in it, hey, Alabama it is.
I just hope they lose.
All right, let's move on to, we'll finish off with football, NFL, but let's move over to NBA. We haven't done any NBA talk, so you can expect more coming in the weeks to come. But recently the college basketball season tipped off, and of course there's already the talk about who's going to be the number one pick next year, even before these freshmen played their first game. And of course we're talking about Andrew Wiggins of Kansas, Jabari Parker of Duke, and Randall also of Kentucky. Is it Jonathan Randall? I think that's his first name. I don't know. Julius Randall.
Yeah.
I don't know him too well. I know more so about Wiggins and Parker. And pretty much I think with them two being the top two in terms of, I think they're going to flip-flop of who's going to be the number one pick throughout the season.
Yeah.
But out of those three, who do we feel is the most NBA ready? They can step on a court right now and be able to hang with the rest of the league, rest of the association.
I mean, based on what I saw, like Wiggins is really good, but Parker is the more complete player. I mean, he does it all. He's everything that his team needs him to be. Like he can shoot the rock, he can get inside. He's got the post moves. I mean, he's there on D. Wiggins, he has a lot of athleticism, but watching him play the last couple games, I don't think that comparison to LeBron is fair. I don't see LeBron in him. I see more LeBron and
I
Jabari
want to
Parker.
hear another conversation about comparing them
Yeah.
two. LeBron's on a whole nother planet.
Yeah.
But Randall also is like a man among boys down low, but I don't know how he'd fare against some of the big men in the NBA, but I'd say Parker is most NBA ready.
Yeah.
I haven't watched them enough yet to really make that
Yeah.
determination, but I would just say that whoever gets any of those three players, they're going to be extremely happy to have them for a couple
Yeah,
of years.
for sure.
I mean, I know their colleges are definitely happy to have them right now.
Yeah.
But I think they'll all be good in the pros.
Yeah, I agree with you with Parker. Wiggins, he seemed to, in the last couple games, he gets the little, like, dink and dunk points, like, here and there, just because of his athleticism.
Like a Blake
You know,
Griffin.
exactly, like, getting up, pulling boards and putbacks and stuff like that. But Parker seems to be the all-around, like, complete player. Really shooting well as of now. He's a streaky shooter behind the arc. So I think he's more NBA ready.
Yeah, I have to go Parker as well, just as you guys already mentioned too. His more complete game. I was talking with one of my friends. I'm gonna give you a shout out. My friend AJ. Yeah, I gave you a shout out. Yeah, shout us back. But anyways,
Better watch.
He mentioned pretty much what you said about Wiggins' athleticism, and he said if Wiggins can get some of the more of that complete game, close to what Parker has, that he will be the most superstar ready type player in the league. Of course, that's if he can develop some of the stuff that Parker already has.
Mm-hmm.
And but I think at times you need just more than athleticism in terms of certain points of the game, as you can see most of the times. And I think that's why I'm going Parker. I think Parker is the most NBA ready.
Yeah.
As of right now.
As of
Yes.
right now, yeah. So of course, we come back around March Madness. This conversation might be completely different. It might be Randall. That's
It might be somebody else.
It might be
Comes
somebody
up.
else. Who knows?
You never know.
So, lastly, let's real quick talk about the NFL. And let's talk about our playoff frontrunners right now. Just real quick, we'll go around. Of course, we're reached that halfway point of the season, a little bit more than halfway now. Reaching the home stretch, getting into November and December, where it starts getting cold. And, it starts getting rough out there now. Of course, the division leaders you pretty much weed out the weak teams that, are not going to make the playoffs, such as Tampa Bay Buccaneers or the Jacksonville Jaguars. Congrats on getting your first wins, by the way.
Yeah.
Beating those woeful Dolphins and all that they got going on. And then they beat Tennessee. Jacksonville beat Tennessee. And Tennessee lost again to the Colts. So, Chris Johnson, where you at, man? I got you on my fantasy team. Anyway, that's another conversation for another day. But playoff front runners right now. I mean, I guess for who do we see as the top team in the NFC, top team in the AFC right now? And we can classify as the best team in both conferences. We'll just do that real quick.
I mean, AFC, Denver.
Yeah.
Like, I think Denver's. I mean, yeah, KC's playing really well, and everyone's like,
no love for Kansas City.
Nope.
I mean, no
Well,
one's,
we know you
no
don't have
one's
any love for
no one's
Kansas
giving love
City,
to
though.
no one's giving love to Kansas City. I mean, the teams that they've beaten are they haven't beaten a winning team.
NFC.
They're 9-0 and haven't beaten
A
a
winning
winning team. So, and they haven't faced any good quarterbacks either.
Yeah.
So they'll have their first big test this weekend facing Denver and Peyton Manning.
Sure, and just real quick on that stat that you just mentioned, I was watching ESPN the other day, and Adam Schefter had talked about the stat that this is the first time in history that two teams with the records that Kansas City and Denver has are going to be playing, and they have a losing record against winning teams. They've only played one game against a winning team, and that was the Broncos playing the Indianapolis Colts, and they've lost. So right now they're 0-1 against winning teams, which is a crazy stat to think about the teams that they've beaten right now. But just want to throw that in there.
Yeah, I'd say Denver's the consensus.
Yeah.
You have some dark horse pick.
No, no, not this
Pittsburgh
time.
Steelers.
Atlanta Falcons.
We're not going to talk about the Falcons.
But yeah, I think I have to go with Denver as well. I mean, I think Kansas City's real good. I'm going to give Kansas City more love than DeMonte will, but I think Denver is the best team right now in the AFC. Of course, that could be different over the next few weeks when Denver plays Kansas City in two out of the next 3 games. And but let's go over. Of course, you got New England there, Tom Brady. What they're gonna, we'll see. But let's go real quick to the NFC, real quick to wrap it up. And I think that this is a little bit more tough than the AFC.
Yeah.
Of who the NFC is.
Saints.
That's what I was thinking. I was also thinking the Panthers because, ever since they drafted Cam Newton, I knew they were going to be this.
Total stab at Matt.
This is stab at Matt. Inside joke. Matt said he could see this coming ever since the Panthers drafted Cam Newton. Okay. Oh, okay.
Well,
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyways, I think that's Panthers have definitely come up.
y'all are the worst.
Then you got Seattle. I mean,
Yeah. Gosh.
it's rough. Of course, Seattle has the better record right now by a game over the Saints. You've seen Seattle come back, being like 21 points down to Tampa Bay. You've seen them come back and pull out tough games. But, I mean, Drew Brees, I think right now I'm going to have to go with the Saints slight edge over the Seahawks.
Yeah.
You've got the hot hand.
Yeah. Well, I mean, really, actually, I think I'm going to go with the Seahawks because I feel like the Seahawks game is going to. I remember, like, last year they really picked up towards the end, and that could partially be explained because they have Lynch and Russell Wilson, who are both great runners. I feel like that might translate more down the stretch here in the end as we get longer into the season, but it's definitely, like, really close between all those 3 teams you mentioned, Panthers, Saints, and Seahawks. Depending on, like, how these next couple of games go,
Right.
they could all just be a front runner.
Mhm.
Like, yeah.
Look out for them Lions, though. Aaron Rodgers
Those-
beat on the men.
Yeah.
Hurt my fantasy team.
Little brothers taking over the big brothers.
Yeah. But hopefully you don't jinx Seattle like you did Atlanta. They're about to be this season. Atlanta's nowhere to be found. But anyways,
Or Tony.
George Mason University, thank you for joining us inside another edition of the Press Box. We're going to see you next time. Same place. You already know where it is. Keep it locked. I'm Vada Bernard.
I'm Perry Buckley.
I'm DeMonte Shaw.
And I'm Matt Newman.
And as always, George Mason University, press on.